Hello, beach friends. So, this Florida gal is about to embark on day 2 of my not Florida shelling trip. And today we will be visiting Holden Beach, North Carolina, as well as Kiawah Beachwalker Park, South Carolina. Now, right now it's 6:36 in the morning. I left at 4 a.m. and I spent the first hour driving dodging deer. It is absolutely unnerving to see so many deer just grazing on the side of the road in the dark. The second hour of my drive, I spent questioning my life choices in the dark, but I did make it here to Holden Beach for shells that at this point I'm pretty sure I could have found back in Florida, but I think that's kind of the point. Sometimes it's not really about finding something new, it's just about going, seeing something different, taking the long way, and being grateful for whatever you may happen to find along the way. Right now, I'm truly just grateful that I made it here in one piece, and what is waiting for us? Piece of quahog. Yep. All right, big old chunk of quahog. I suspect that is a northern quahog. Didn't know what to expect. I mean, I've never been here. I've watched a couple of videos, obviously, of what could be found, but I don't know. Let's check it out. What do we got here? All right, it looks like a Dosinia lucine, although it could be a crosshatch lucine. That looks like ponderous arc. Intact. Okay, a lot of shrapnel. There's a lot of pieces of things here. Okay, just trying to familiarize myself. Lots of darker things. All right. Again, a lot just pieces of cockles. Not a whole lot intact here anyway. Okay. All right, looks like it's definitely going to be a little bit of a hunt for me. I found this little smattering, and here is an auger. All right, cool. And it's all right. It's trying to get away from me. Nope, not going to happen, buddy, especially since you are absolutely intact. So, yeah, you're definitely going to come home with me. But the rest of this, all right, I do see an intact coquina, but the rest of this is really just crushed up shells. All right, yep. All right, I got my work cut out for me. I am prepared for the challenge, though. I am. Oh, I was hoping. So these are fossilized sea biscuits that pretty much anybody who visits Holden Beach gets to have one. But, yep, that's not in great shape. I am not going to hold on to that. But that's what I was hoping would be here. So that's yay. But hopefully we'll find something that's a little bit better condition. There just must be millions of them. They've been showing up for years. Let's see, what's that? I think that's a blood arc. Okay, they're intact. Kind of intact. I mean, the urchin is kind of like a stone. Look how soft the sand is. That's really soft. And this is the best example of a knobbed whelk I have found yet. So I'm going to hold on to that. Yeah, cool. And that white part, that's just the inside of the shell. So the shell was more intact and it's kind of breaking apart. Oh, a cross-barred Venus clam. Look at that. Yep. Extremely common in my neck of the woods. Looks like they show up here too. I think that is a blood arc, I believe. Okay. So yeah, bits and pieces. Like I said, I got my work cut out for me. And I do love a good challenge, so I don't mind that at all. And it's funny because I was hoping to find new treasures, and I did find a few. But somehow, the biggest surprise was driving all this way to meet some of the same shells I left back in Florida. And that's okay. But if you're ready to see what all is going to be out there for us today, let's go to the beaches. There's a piece of banded tulip. That is about, did I see anything North Carolina? Oh, I'm still in North Carolina, aren't I? Yeah, this was like a fever dream, this trip. It was, yesterday was North Carolina, today's both North and South Carolina. Oh, look at that. Spiny jewel box with a big hole. Yeah, that's been here for a minute, but I recognize it. As is that crossbarred Venus clam. I just set it down next to. It's kind of fun having all the black pieces. I don't normally have that much black on the beach. There's a lot of black up in North Carolina too. So I do see someone up there, and I'm kind of they're hunting, so I'm feeling a little salty about that. Like, they're probably picking up my shells, but I'll get back to that in a minute. Oh, beautiful coquina. Yes, I saw the fossilized urchin there too. Gorgeous. And hinged. Yay. Yep. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, that's been here a minute. It's kind of cool. You can see the Aristotle's lantern. That's the mouth bits on the underside. Yeah, fascinating. I kind of tried to dig a little research into those sea biscuits, and there just must be a shelf out there somewhere, and they just keep rolling in for like years. It's been going on. All right, kitten paw has been buried for a minute. Awesome. So I'm going to add some black kitten paws to my collection. Oh, okay. I'm going to reserve my, I was going to say this looks promising, but, oh, a baby's here. Oh, yay. So I was hoping for baby's ears and Wenzel trap. Those are the two species of shells I was very much hoping on this trip to find. That's great. All right, we've got our first baby's ear of the day. Awesome. And another one of those little round, I think that one's a crosshatch lucine. And honestly, the shape is really the same for a lot of these little shells. I'm just going to look at the pattern. Yeah, that one on the right is definitely a crosshatch lucine. Kind of hard to tell the patterns on the other shells, but at least they're intact. So some intact shells. Here's a calico scallop, been buried. I can see the color coming through. Yeah. But it's intact, and I do like the black shells anyway, so that's fun. Sand dollar, yeah. All right, so they have the keyhole sand dollars here. Okay. Just a piece, which is really a flat urchin. Oh, here's a little smattering there, so okay. As long as there's something to look through, right? Oh, here's another little calico scallop. So it's kind of worn down, the little wings on the bottom. Those are called oracles. And those have been worn down. It's okay, still pretty. Oh, there's another auger. Oh, terrific. Lovely. Lovely common auger. Oh, look at that. A lady-in-waiting Venus clam. Huh. You know, they hang out with the imperial Venus clams, I wonder. Yeah, probably not on this beach. Hard to say, but that's an imperial Venus clam. Cool. And that looks like a mossy arc. Yep, that is what that is. A mossy arc. Yeah, not in great shape. It's clearly missing like its first layer of shell, but okay. Lettered olive. Couple of them, all right. So that is the state shell of South Carolina. Cool. Kind of like once your brain sees something, it's for a minute or two, that's all your brain kind of sees. And so I'm probably going to spend a minute or two picking up olives. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to see any other gastropods today, so let's just make hay while the sun is shining, right? Or find olives while I have this little shell pile, however you want to call it. Yeah, it does seem to, again, like with the coquina pieces, the olives. Yeah, I see a piece of a crossbarred Venus clam. Yeah, little olive, wouldn't want to leave that behind. No Wenzel traps yet, though. Not yet. All right, so a couple more olives. Oh, look, a little marginella. Well, that's fun. I didn't know that those little creatures came up here too. Well, frankly, because I've never shelled outside of Florida. This is only the second day ever I've been shelling. I've been to other beaches. I just hadn't discovered shells yet. It took me moving to Florida for me to love shells. I believe that's a mud snail. And on some level, I kind of get it. What's this? Yeah, another piece of mud snail. This is very, 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 very different than what I am used to in Southwest Florida. And it makes sense. This is a little bit closer to probably what I experienced. Actually, this is better shelling than in New Jersey. In New Jersey, there was quahogs. There was just nothing to really inspire me. Trying down by the beach, typically I'll zigzag, but down here, yeah, there is nada. So I'm probably gonna, yep, all right, head back up. Go through the grit, that's okay. Lentil traps hang out with grit. Oh, that's fun. So that's probably, oh, I can't tell if it's crosshatched or Dosenia leucine, but obviously been buried. It's got those stripes like the ones I found yesterday or last week. All right, what else might be here? Oh, here's another little scallop. You know, that's hard. I want to say bay scallop. I can't, just because of the coloring, can't quite tell. Actually, I think that might be a calico scallop. All right, a remnant of a nutmeg. Yeah, just a nutmeg piece. That's all I only saw pieces of nutmegs on this trip thus far. Right. Okay, so that was one of those Dosenias, and that is a lady-in-waiting Venus clam. Cool, been buried. Got that black color. What's that? Oh, that is a piece of a knobbed whelk. Yep. Yeah. All right, did I see a limpet? I might have missed something. All right, there's another banded tulip piece. Bunch of arcs. Yeah, but it's mostly pieces, not a lot of intact shells. Here's an auger. Yeah, that's cool. They seem to be able to survive the battering that these other shells don't. Another lady-in-waiting Venus clam. Oh yeah, another two lady-in-waiting Venus clams and an auger. Oh, look, they color coordinate. Very nice. Now this, I think, is one of those Chemnitz arc clams. I showed this to you when I went to the Carolinas, but that video hasn't aired yet. So I don't know. I'm hoping someone might be able to confirm or deny what that particular shell is. It's kind of pretty. That's calico scallop. Definitely calico scallop. Beautiful. And yes, number 2. That's been sort of buried. All right, nice to see a little bit of color on the beach. Oh yeah, that one's in a little bit better condition than some of the other ones. Still trying to find a decent one. That one looks, I would say that that's decent, right? And you'll see it has those 5 petals because so does a sand dollar. They have pencil radial symmetry. They have 5 little pieces of them. A shark tooth! Okay, so that guy that was down the beach, or the person that was down the beach, ended up being a guy. He wasn't looking for shells. He was looking for shark teeth. And when he and I met, he mentioned shark tooth. I looked down and I found one. So now I'm hunting for both. Is that a shark? No, not a shark tooth. So now I'm hunting for shark teeth and the shells. I guess I just didn't realize that shark teeth were here. Oh, jingle. Fantastic. So kind of fun. You can hunt for 2 different things here. Juneau Beach is like that too. Or some of the beaches on the east coast of Florida are like that. Well, there's a limpet. Oh, that is cool. I wish it wasn't broken. I love that it's black. That is fabulous. Yeah, I'm not going to keep it though. It's broken. Hopefully I'll find another one. I have plenty of limpets. Not a black one, but it would be nice. Okay, a shark eye. Is it a piece of shark eye or is it intact? It's most of a shark eye. Maybe it's broken just ever so slightly. Very cool little shark eye. Oh, now that is quite lovely. So that is a calico scallop, intact, great color. That's shaping up to be about, other than that baby's ear, yep, that's one of the nicer shells I found today. Pretty awesome. Is that another baby's ear? Oh, it is. Speaking of baby's ears, oh, it's like tie-dye. So it's like sort of color, sort of white, sort of discolored. Oh, that's neat. The fact that it's intact, that's a little bit more important to me anyway. So another little baby's ear. Cool. Oh, that one is neat. So see that hole? I suspect a critter actually dug that hole through that fossilized sea biscuit. Oh, that is neat. I just find it so interesting that other mollusks are kind of modifying other shells. Oh, it's just fascinating. And I'm actually going to think about that for a minute, but I'm going to be quiet and allow you to have some beach time. All right, is that a shark tooth? That is not a shark tooth. That is a very black piece of shell that kind of has the shape of a shark tooth. So fun though, again, I'm hunting two different things, which means I'm probably going to start missing, although I don't know that I could miss anything. It's just not a whole lot intact. Yep, all right. Guys, have any guesses what that is? So that is a piece of a shell that I talk about here in Southwest Florida. It does have a scientific name of the Phyllonotus palmum. And if you were thinking apple murex, you would have been correct. Yep, so just a shard. That is the closest thing I have found to a murex on my trip up north. Oh, that's real pretty. Yeah, I don't get to see stuff like that at home. So as long as I'm seeing something different, I'm happy. It's fine. This trip, I think, was one of those just kind of scratch that itch kind of trips. I just needed to come see this place for myself. Another black kitten's paw. And just, experience northern shelling so that I have something to compare it to. That is awesome. So it's a limpet that's been buried. It's black. It's not broken. I love that. That's awesome. Awesome little keyhole limpet. You're really pretty too. Perfect little calico scallop. You can still kind of see the pattern underneath it. Oh, that's so pretty. Lovely. And some lovely coquinas. Obviously an important food source for many of the different beaches, so fun to see that those are here as well. Oh, let's add this. Now that coquina has a drill hole in it. I don't know that I've ever seen that. Here's another calico scallop that's been buried. It's intact, so that makes it a very good shell. Yeah, I think that's the top of a channeled whelk. If I had to guess, that's what I'm guessing that is. Another mossy arc. This one's in a little bit better shape. Yeah, that is a mossy arc, all right. The weird cousin of the turkey wing. And so that is a shark tooth. It's not mine though. I did, because this trip was so insane. My friend lives in the area. She came to hang out with me for a little while, so I did get to visit and show her shark teeth to all of you. Now this is a tusk shell. It kind of looks like a tusk. And sometimes they're open on both ends, sometimes they're open on only one end. So can you believe that a critter made that? I know, they're so interesting. Oh, a spiny jewel box. Lovely. Not as spiky as some of the specimens I get here in Southwest Florida, but still a very nice spiny jewel box. Oh, and a lovely yellow coquina. That has a drill hole. So that's just a lot. That is where like other animals are manipulating other shells. So I just like that. I think that's just kind of interesting. Oh, and another one. Okay, that one's great. See the nice petals on it. Oh, and then you see the Aristotle's lantern on the other side. Oh, that one's really nice. Oh, very cool. So at least I got a couple of those. So that was Holden Beach. It was cool. I'm very, very glad I came. And then I got back in the car and drove to Kiawah Beachwalker Park. So yeah, 174 miles later, I'm back on another beach. This time I'm in South Carolina. So this is going to be my first experience on a South Carolina trip, beach rather. And I did come here specifically for Wental traps, because at this point, my little trip, I've managed to find a couple babies here. Oh, they have sea turtles here too, and wild dolphins. Yeah, it's just something I wouldn't know. I just don't think about that. I'm so glad I came. I really am. Cool beach. So there's zero rack line. There's sand, and there's what, like drift? I don't know. Like here, look. Here's a little, what's that? A little clam or something? Yeah. Okay. So this is reminding me a little more of something the experience I would have in New Jersey, where yeah, there's nothing here to inspire you, but it's a little bit of a trip to the end. And I know Wental traps may like to kind of hang out like where I find them on Lighthouse Beach at the end, like a point of the island. So I'm going to keep this coquina. That has a drill hole, I might add. Kind of cool. Or in this one too. Shoot, anything intact I'm going to keep as I make my way to the very end of the island here. 2 more pairs of coquinas. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's one of those chimneys. Arc clams, maybe? Yeah, that's pretty. It's white. It's got its beads. I'm going to keep that one. That one will pass the muster. So it is quite a bit of a walk, and I was pretty determined. Now, I could have come here and just kind of abandoned it, but it would have bothered me. It would have bothered me knowing I was close and I didn't actually stop. So since I am here, I am going to explore every nook, every cranny, the high rack line. Okay, it's still very windy. It was very windy yesterday. So got a little coquina. So, yep, I'm going to zigzag up and down the beach. Just, they're here, or allegedly they're here somewhere. Oh, that is a moon snail egg casing. Interesting. That's been really neat. Like coming across things, hundreds of miles away from where I normally am, but yet I know what they are. So that's been really interesting. And again, kind of reinforcing that, maybe I didn't even need to leave Florida to find shells, but it's the experience. And I don't know that I've ever been able to find a coquina with drill holes, so I get to add those to my collection as well. All right, okay, a couple of intact shells. This alternate telling. Look at that. Oh, that's pretty cool. Random, 1, and what's this? This? All right, if I had to guess, I'm going to say that is actually a white rose petal talon. That's what I believe that one is. All right, a couple of talons. So I'm getting intact shells. It's not the white shells I'm looking for. All right, here's a couple of beauties. Because looks like the coquinas, you can depend on those coquinas, but yeah, not all that much. But I will say, considering I've never really I don't know that I've ever been to South Carolina like this and gone to the beach and visited it. I did watch my brother graduate from the Marines, but yeah, this is cool. This is really, really cool. Oh, a shark eye. All right, a shark eye moon snail. That kind of has would you consider that a Paul Newman shark eye? I think we can't. Yeah, I don't know that there's false shark eyes down here. Oh, a channel duck clam. Yep, you're all busted up. Yep. But those can be found here too, apparently. All right, yeah, getting the lay of the land. I was pretty determined, so I was going to go down to the point. I'm going to walk. Yep, there's like flats in the back here. I'm going to walk around back here. Oh, a stranded jellyfish. I believe that is a cannonball jelly. Yeah, you got stranded. But yeah, all right, so I've pretty much made it to the very end of the island. And you know what I don't see? Wental traps. Yeah, nothing even, not even a bubble. Nothing even remotely, yeah. But again, at least I know. Now I know. It would have bothered me. So I'm still glad I came, even though I'm still not finding a Wental trap. I am going to collect, however, the best mud snail that I've gotten on this trip. So this is it. That's the best mud snail I've found. A little crusty on it. I'm sure that'll clean up. So it's not for naught. I did get this. That's kind of fun. Oh, here's another one, or another shark eye moon snail with a drill hole. Lovely. Yeah, the aperture is a little bit beat up, but for a day like today, that is an awesome show. And then this was just really, I just happened to be standing here, and obviously the tide is coming in. And I've never really experienced anything like that. So that was kind of, the birds are kind of rushing at it. Now, fun fact, the further away you are from the equator, the more extreme the tides are. This is what the tides are by me. It only gets to what? We don't only measure like up to 2.5 feet. I'm much more south. Here in South Carolina, where I was, look at that. The tide went up to 6 feet. So it, again, the further away you are from the equator, the more extreme that the tides are. And I just have to be standing at the right place at the right time to kind of catch that tide coming in. That was kind of fun. So now I know. I know that I didn't, that Wental traps were just not in the cards for me. And I was really bummed about that because that's what I wanted. But I did get this channeled whelk. And yeah, I'm looking around for puddle or something. Apparently I walked away from that tide coming in. I try to knock out. The shell itself, it's not in great shape. It's kind of got like calcification and like stuff on it. I'll show you at the very end. Yeah, but at least, all right, fine. I can add one of those to my collection. A very, very sandy channeled whelk, but at least it's a gastropod. And it's, for all intent and purposes, pretty intact. So I'm going to have a good walk on the way back. I stopped to admire these American oyster catchers for my bird watching friends. So there was that pair just kind of hanging out. And then there was this. This is a false angel wing. You'll notice, yep. So that waffle pattern on the right side does not travel all the way down the shell. So that makes it a false angel wing. Still fun though. Surprised it kind of made it intact up here. Cool. So another bivalve, an angel wing. So now I can at least check off North Carolina and South Carolina from that list of places I had wanted to try. So now I know. On a great shelling day, I've seen the videos. They're fantastic. But on a regular day, this is what you're going to get. And I'm glad that I know that now because I can kind of have that reference. So now I know. I mean, I've always known how lucky I am. Believe me, I always did. But now I think I can definitely say I have a new appreciation because apparently sometimes you can travel a long way just to return to something familiar with a little bit more appreciation. So I'm so glad that I came. It really was a cool trip. Now, little bit of garbage, 0.3 ounces, but it still adds up. In total, I've removed a little over 92 pounds of garbage from beaches, including a bunch of those lettered olives up in North Carolina. There was that channeled whelk, the knobbed whelk, a couple of those arcs, some jingles, lady-in-waiting Venus clams. There's some white leucines, discolored leucines, augers, calico scallops. We've got a false angel wing, another, I think, a semele, kitten paws, that chimnitz clam, the tusk shell, mossy arc, the two talons, the alternate, and what I think is a rose petal talon. There was some coquinas. I like that orange one. Those fossilized sea biscuits, which are really cool. There's one spiny jewel box, a couple of those shark eyes. Then my favorites were the limpets, the baby's ears, the marginella, the shark tooth, the mud snail, and then those two scallops. So I know now what it's like to shell not in Southwest Florida. And boy, oh boy, do I have a brand new appreciation. Now, quickly, I'm going to say thank you to my Patreons. I gave them a little sneak peek of next week and an entire overview on how I planned this trip, where I decided to go and when and all that good stuff. So that I posted over on Patreon. And without my Patreons, none of this would be possible. Without that support, I just couldn't do this. So thank you so much. Now, I don't like spoilers, but I'm telling you, next week made the whole trip for me. It was absolutely amazing. This was one of the locations that just made my heart sing. All of these beautiful trees right on the beach. It was gorgeous. And I didn't even mention the shells. People, I bought a bag, like an IKEA bag. I didn't fill the whole thing, but I'm telling you, next week is amazing. So until then, I hope you have yourselves a fantastic week, and I'll see you again next Sunday.